Hello students, welcome again to another class of Easy Economics. I am Meghna Badlani. Do subscribe my channel and click the bell icon so that as and when I upload my new video, you get a notification. In this video, I am going to continue chapter number 3, collection of data from statistics. Right? In my previous video, we have already discussed about difference between primary and secondary data. In this video, which is part 2 of collection of data, we are going to discuss methods of collecting primary data. So methods of collecting primary data, basically there are 6 different methods of collecting primary data, and they are direct personal investigation, indirect oral investigation, information through correspondence, telephonic interview, mailed questionnaire, and questionnaire filled by the enumerator. When we discuss about all the 6 methods of collecting primary data, what are the things we keep into mind are suitability, where these methods are suitable, precautions while using any of the method, what are the precautions we should keep in our mind, merits and demerits. So for each and every method, we are going to discuss about the suitability, precautions, merits and demerits. Let us start with first method, that is direct personal investigation. In this method, the data is collected by the investigator himself from the informant. That means the investigator himself goes to the informant and collect the information or the data. Now, when this method is suitable when we want original data, right? When we want original data, we want the data should be more accurate. Again, we want the data should be confidential. It should be between the informant and the investigator, only between 2 persons, and also where the area is very limited. See, it is not possible for the investigator to go individually to each and every informant and collect the data or the information. Hence, when the area is limited, only then and there this method is useful. What are the precautions we should keep in mind while using this method? The only precaution is the investigator himself should be well versed with the statistical methods and techniques. And also the investigator should not be prejudiced. Now, what are the merits? The merits are the data which we are going to collect will be original, the data will be more accurate, and if the area is limited, definitely the method will be economical. What are the demerits? Yes, this method cannot be used where the area is very large. Yes, when the area is very, very large, this method becomes expensive. Not only it becomes expensive, it also becomes time consuming. Hence, these are the suitability, precautions, merits and demerits related to direct personal investigation. What is the best example where we can use this method for collecting primary data? The example is when companies collecting statistical data for their own product. So there are many multinational companies who do collect the statistical data about their own product, and they use this type of investigation for collecting the primary data, and that is direct personal investigation. Let's move towards the second method, that is indirect oral investigation. Now, in this investigation, data is collected from the third party. So, the investigator do not collect the data from the informant, rather than he goes to the third person who is aware about the information regarding the informant. Okay, the third party is aware about the information regarding the informant and he gives the data to the investigator. So here data is collected from the third party. Now, where this method is suitable, this method is suitable when the information we want to collect is of secretive and sensitive nature. When the informant are reluctant to give the information, or when we have to keep certain secrecy, and when the area is very large. What are the precautions? While thinking about the precaution, we should take large number of witnesses who are going to give us the information. The witnesses should not be prejudiced. Whatever information we collect from the witness, we should also cross-check it. And again, the precaution is the person himself or the witness himself should have enough and correct information about the informant. So these are the precautions we have to keep. What are the merits and demerits? The merits is it is very economical, wide area can be covered, and we can make use of expert here. Say for an example, this method is basically used for police inquiry. This method is basically used by police inquiry. So you must see that while inquiring any of the case, say for example, we have seen in CID serials, there many times inquire for the murder case and everything. So they take the advice of an expert, say for an example, forensic lab and all. So here expert advice can also be utilized. What are the demerits? The demerits are the information which we collect is from the third party, hence the accuracy is questionable, right? We do not get the original information. What if the witness are the prejudiced? They are not giving the correct information. So these are the demerits of this type of investigation. So we have studied about two: direct personal investigation, where the investigator himself go and collect the data from the information, and the second is indirect oral investigation. That means the investigator collect the information from the third party. Okay, now third is information from correspondence. Yes, data here is collected from an agency or a correspondent who are already trained to collect the data. So, where this method is suitable, this method is basically suitable where we want the data from every period of time and then. That means we want the data in a continuous nature throughout the year. So, this method is very suitable. What are the precautions while selecting or appointing an agent or selecting and appointing any correspondent? We should be taking certain precautions that they are not prejudiced, they are aware about the factor of the areas concerned, and they are well versed with the statistical techniques. What are the merits? The merits is large area can be covered, it is not expansive, and easily we can get the information. And what are the demerits? Demerits are maybe the correspondents are prejudiced. We need we need a trained person, and what if the agent we selected are not trained or not well versed according to the statistical techniques? Then data collected through correspondence and agent won't be that fruitful. What is the best example? Who use this type of information? So these type of data collection is used by the newspapers and periodic magazines. Now, next method comes telephonic interview. Yes, telephonic interview. Here the data is collected through the telephone. The informant directly called to the investigator directly called to the informant. Now, when this method is useful, when we want only small amount of data, right? And when it is not possible to go personally to each and every informant and collect the data. The only precaution here which we have to take is that the telephone connectivity is connected easily. What are the merits? Yes, wide range coverage is there, it is economical. What are the demerits? There is no scope of visual interview, right? And again, the accuracy is questionable. The best example is the polls. You must have heard about that if you want to join Kaun Banega Crorepati. So first of all, they are going to take a telephonic interview if you just call them. So the best example where this method is used is the telephonic polls. So till now we have discussed about the four methods. First one was direct personal investigation, then came indirect oral investigation, information from correspondence, and telephonic interview. What is the difference? So in direct personal investigation, investigator himself goes and collect the data from the informant. In direct oral investigation, investigator get the information from the third party. Information from correspondence, agent and correspondents who are already trained to collect the data are hired by the investigator. Then telephonic interview, the investigator goes through a telephonic round of interview instead of going personally and meeting them. Now coming towards the fifth method, that is mailed questionnaire. Here data is collected in the form of a questionnaire. A questionnaire is prepared and it is mailed to various number of informants along with a cover letter and sealed and stamped postcard. Initially when there was no internet, along with the questionnaire, yes, definitely sealed and stamped postage was to be sent so that the informant can fill the questionnaire and send back as soon as possible. But nowadays it is very easy because we can do it with the help of an email. Right? Now, when this method is suitable, when the area is very large and when the informants are literate and ready to cooperate. What are the precautions? The precautions we have to take while framing a questionnaire. The question should not be sensitive. The question should not hurt the feeling of an informant. And the objective of collecting the information should be very clearly sent towards to the informant. And also the precaution should be taken that a sealed and mailed stamped envelope should be sent toward to the informant. What are the merits? Yes, it covers a wide area, it is very economical, and we get the information as soon as possible. What are the demerits? What if the questions are misinterpreted? That could be possible. What if the informant are not ready to reply to the questionnaire? That we have to see it. And again, the information accuracy won't be to that degree standard. Okay. So this is mailed questionnaire. And last one is questionnaire filled by the enumerator. Now, what is the difference between mailed questionnaire and questionnaire filled by the enumerator? Here, the enumerator himself goes towards the informant and fill the questionnaire. Here, the same precautions we have to keep in mind, that question should not be sensitive, question should not hurt the informant, the question should be very simple. And where this method is suitable? This method is suitable only when an organization have an educate finance and a trained enumerator. Right? What are the merits? The merits is here we get flexibility, uniformity, and all types of question could be asked, because here the informant directly go and ask the question. So you will get a more accurate answer. And even this method is very useful when the person are illiterate, when they are not able to say or read and write, but still we can go and ask them the question and the enumerator will fill the questionnaire on their behalf. What are the demerits? The demerits are that the enumerator should be well versed, that means he should be a trained person. Yes, it is time consuming because one and on enumerator has to go to each and every informant and fill the questionnaire. Now, mailed questionnaire, the best method or the best example here who use this type of method of collecting primary data is research work. When you go for a PhD or you do a research work also in class 11th and 12th, you are going to prepare your project, and it is very important that you conduct a research work. So while conducting a research work, you have to frame a questionnaire and you have to mail to all your friends to come to any conclusion, right? And questionnaire filled by the enumerator, the best example is interviews of an dignitaries. When we take the interview of an dignitaries. Okay. So I hope you understood that all the 6 methods of collecting primary data, that is direct personal investigation, here the investigator himself goes and takes the information. Then indirect oral investigation, investigator collect the information from third party. Information from correspondence, so investigator collect the information from an agent or correspondent who are already trained. Then telephonic interview, here the investigator with the help of a telephone contact the informant to collect the data. Mailed questionnaire, here data is collected with the help of a questionnaire. So here the questionnaire is mailed to the informant. And questionnaire filled by the enumerator, here the same questionnaire is filled by the enumerator, that is enumerator or the investigator himself will go to the informant and collect the information. So what is the basic difference between direct personal investigation and questionnaire filled by enumerator? In direct personal investigation, investigator himself go to the informant. Also in questionnaire filled by enumerator, investigator go to informant. But the only difference is in direct personal investigation, questionnaire is not prepared. They then and there ask the question whatever comes in their mind. But in questionnaire filled by enumerator, already the paper with various questions is framed and enumerator will just fill the option whichever is given by the informant. So these are the 6 methods of collecting primary data. Hope you all understood. Thank you. Wait for my third video in which we are going to further discuss about collection of